Thank you to my dear friend Diane Primo of Purpose Brand for that generous introduction. Hello, everybody. It is my complete honor to deliver the opening remarks at the final day of what has been a phenomenal 54th year of the Chicago Business Opportunity Fair, presented by the Chicago Minority Supplier Development Council. I'd like to take a moment to thank the council's president, Vincent Williams, for your leadership, your distinguished board of directors and board members for your governance, and this year's lead sponsor, Allstate, for stepping up to the plate as the CMSDC reimagined this event. Take it from a girl who lives and dies by partnerships. Your sponsorship matters. And to my dear friend and mentor, Barbara Lumpkin, who's been leading the charge for equity and progress as city treasurer and in leadership at the corporate and civic level for years here in Chicago. Thanks for all you've done and continue to do to make our city great. This year's theme is Connecting the Dots, SOS. SOS at the CMSDC stands for Synergies, Opportunities, and Solutions. When I was growing up, SOS meant somebody was in trouble. Someone needed help. As best-in-class Black business owners in professional services, we are in a fascinating time in our history. It's been a little over a year since George Floyd was murdered in Minneapolis, which set off a firestorm across the nation and around the world. It was the prophetic words of Floyd's 6-year-old daughter who, in the midst of the chaos, uttered, "My daddy changed the world," which became a prelude to a country that appeared ready to atone. Since then, corporate America is also doing some self-actualization in its attempt to right the ship. And we applaud your efforts to engage Black-owned businesses in the professional service industry in ways like you never have before. Throughout this past year, we have watched corporations make hundreds of millions of dollars in pledges to support Black organizations, Black women, Black colleges, Black home ownership, and Black-owned small businesses, which are the bedrock of our communities. And once it is truly actualized, it will make a difference in addressing the disparities and the wealth gap here in America. But what about our Black professional service industry, where we're still in SOS mode? And following the pandemic, now more than ever, this sector needs immediate action on B2B engagement with corporate America. And staying with this year's theme, I would like to connect the dots. To our participating corporations, be clear. We are here seeking a synergetic partnership with you on an opportunity that will provide a solution. And for Black-owned businesses and professional services, there is only one solution. That is the opportunity to do business. And not just any business or some business. Now in this era, we need transformative partnerships. The businesses that are here today are best-in-class professional companies who I refer to as standing in the gap in our community and who do not necessarily fit the profile of America's version of the quote-unquote typical Black-owned business, which is often made up of our vibrant restaurants, caterers, or retailers. These visionaries here today build prosperity in our communities and provide jobs and pay salaries to their employees that pay for home mortgages, college educations for their children. You know, the American dream. These dynamic entrepreneurs are sometimes smaller than how America defines traditional small businesses, which can range anywhere between 7 million in revenues to nearly 36 million with government contracts. Our Black-owned businesses that are in the gap employ from 10 to sometime more than 100 employees. We are primed for multi-year deals. We deserve an opportunity to scale. And we are not only prepared to go to work for you, but with you. As big corporations deal with the complexities of an ever-changing consumer and a cultural universal shift. You see, this opportunity to be transformative is not just for Black-owned businesses. It's for you, the corporations, who are participating at this fair today. If you are to remain competitive and on the cutting edge of your industry, you need to align with us. It is mutually beneficial. Before I close, I want to thank the corporations who invested in this year's Chicago Business Opportunity Fair and who've been having courageous conversations around race and social equity over this past year with your team members. I know it can sometimes be uncomfortable, but for those conversations, they're so important to the process of growth, inclusion, and accountability. But I also want to challenge you to go a step further. Since we are now 1 year into this social revolution, reconvene with your team members to find out what progress your company has made. Ask the tough questions on what has been your company's spin with Black-owned professional companies and what industries have been amplified in your vendor relationships. Have you hired a Black law firm, accounting firm, investment firm, insurance or IT company? Are you investing in advertising with Black-owned media? A friend once told me, Melody, that which cannot be counted cannot be measured. This is a transformative time in our history that should last for more than a moment. Let's connect the dots to make it a movement. There's no stopping a movement. It's when real change happens. God bless you. Thank you. Let's close some deals.